everyone, this is Crisalm Cadavid Seriales, a fourth-year student taking up a Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. This time, I will discuss to you about the nonverbal communication that focuses on hidden languages and the roles of nonverbal communication. Here is the objectives for this discussion. Students are able to discuss the hidden languages of nonverbal communication. For skills, identify the roles of nonverbal communication and hidden languages through showing images. Give more insights and reflections of the roles and hidden languages of nonverbal communication. Before we begin to tackle the topic, I want to have a motivational test first. This activity will test everyone if they have already knew about the roles and hidden languages of nonverbal communication. In this test, you are going to identify the roles of nonverbal communication in each given pictures. You also had to take note that there are only 5 roles of nonverbal communication. The first one is repetition. The second one is contradiction. Third is substitution. Fourth is complementing. And the last one is accenting. Then I'll have 5 pictures here in this video. You have to answer it and you may write it in your scratch paper. And you're going to preserve it until we finish this discussion. After we complete this entire topic, we can go back to your answers to check it. This time, we will focus on nonverbal communication that centers the hidden languages and its roles of nonverbal communication. As what we already knew that the nonverbal communication is a form of communication that occurs without using words, but communicators can really understand that. It includes facial expressions, gestures, postures, the eye contact, the stance, and other ways of nonverbal communication. According to Bill Acheson, in nonverbal communication, the hidden message, and he examines how professionals deal with each other on a day-to-day basis, and the impact that understanding nonverbal communication can have on enhancing their effectiveness. Nonverbal communication accounts for 2/3 of the impact you make on other professionals in face-to-face communication. In any face-to-face interaction, body language contributes to more than half of the meaning. According to nonverbal communication, the hidden message, nonverbal indicators are more emotional, accurate, and transparent than spoken communication. It tends to make what you say more impactful when your body language supports your verbal message. If you don't have your body language may undermine or even contradict what you say. So the channels of nonverbal communication include the ways in which you manage time and space. And it also your appearance, your posture, your gesture, facial expression, the eye contact, touch, voice, silence, and even your smell. In a nonverbal communication, gesture is an important body language to allow communicator interprets the meaning. The gestures can help describe space or shape that another person is unfamiliar with in ways that words alone cannot. Gestures also reinforce basic meaning. Let's say, for instance, you are pointing the door to someone or to tell someone that they need to leave. Another body language is facial expression. As what we already knew that facial expressions reinforce the emotional states we convey through non-verbal communication. It shows how we react or understand the message. Like, for example, showing someone that you are smiling, while telling a funny story better conveys the true emotions. Another example is that showing someone that you are feeling sad. Nonverbal communication is also useful in a quiet situation where verbal communication would be disturbing. It is because when it is distracting someone or something that you need to use a verbal communication, you also need your nonverbal communication ways, such as giving facial expressions and gestures and another body language to let someone understand what you're going to convey. So it is a sign or showing a sign to someone or just a signal. Just like, for example, you use a gesture to signal to a friend that you are ready to leave the library. Again, it is very common and this sentence is repeating. Nonverbal communication can be a digital body language because of the use of gestures, posture, facial expressions, and the distance between two individuals. And it can be used for the online also. The digital body language is important for establishing and maintaining good, contributing to high morale, and just generally creating a positive work environment for everyone at the company. Digital body language is useful especially for the business. There are plenty of quick and easy ways you can try to make sure you're fluent in digital body language, whether you're an employee or a manager. Like for an employee, simply turning your camera on a big step in looking more approachable and friendly. So this is the best way for the employees to do. Letting others see you goes a long way to ease the strain of online communications as you can use your body language relatively in its normal way. So long as you look engage with what your coworkers are saying and your background is free of distractions, then you are already halfway there. For managers, this is the best way to do for them also. One of the best ways you can help your employees is by demonstrating clear and consistent communication. Your team will be looking to you for guidance, and so you will want to lead by example. The same rules are applied to you about ensuring your camera is on during video calls. So this is not only helps you to appear more approachable, but it helps set the standard. There is also a hidden languages for emotional intelligence. And there are nonverbal communication cues such as the intensity, timing and space, tone of voice, touch, posture, and etc. For the posture, it describes how you bend and move your body, your stance, and even your position. And for the touch, it will describe how your fingers move to someone's body that conveys a message. Like, for example, tapping someone's shoulder and holding someone's hand just to tell them that you adore them and make friends. For timing and pace, it associates with someone to have an interest and being a good listener by timing and pace. Again, the hidden languages that are considered are the facial expressions, gestures, postures, timing and pace, touch, and voice. And these cues should be learned by the students and even the communicators. Next, let us move to the second topic, which is the roles of nonverbal communication. So without any further ado, here are the following 5 roles of nonverbal communication. One is repetition. This focuses on repeating and often confirming the message that you are verbally making. And it can allow a message from a conversation to continue on after the talking is done. So the type of nonverbal communication that can be used for this role are the eye contact, facial expressions, gestures, touch. And this will do the natural process. Like for example, when you are not sure of someone's utterance and you give them a hand gesture to repeat what they say, thus they will also give you a sign to understand what they mean. So this will help validate and strengthen the messages that we convey. And under of this is continuing reinforcement. Repetition can sometimes even cause someone to reconsider their mind because it can demonstrate exactly how much they have been impacted. The body language typically persists while we are having an emotionally intense conversation. The second role of non-verbal conversation is paradox or contradiction. It might contribute to the message that is being conveyed, thus making it in the mind of the listener of whether is speaking the truth or not. This contradiction highlights the untruthfulness that somebody may be speaking. It means that this contradiction is detecting the untruthfulness of someone's words. Just like, for example, you are facing someone and he or she tells you something, but you highlight the untruthfulness what they speak to you. So it is considered as a contradiction as the role of nonverbal communication. And it is very common to us that when we interact with others, the direct eye contact will always be there because the eye contact will brings what we are going to convey and it delivers a message that we should interpret. So we can detect someone when they are lying to you through their eye contact. And we can be sure that when they are speaking untruthfulness, they cannot focus on you. And there is no direct eye contact from them. The third role is substitution. We often substitute the words that you are trying to speak. Although sometimes we can feel anxiety which we are unable to sit, unable to pay attention, and even sweating. We can also express ourselves in other ways that take the place of the words. Like, for example, there is a scene where the crime happened and you are the victim of the crime. So in that situation, you are telling the authorities what happened to you, but you are traumatized and depressed. So you cannot tell them directly and clear because of that. So there is a substitution of it which they can understand your situation because you are unable to speak directly and you are even sweating. So it can replace a verbal pose. Another example is that you are using your facial expression and it frequently conveys a meaning for more vivid than words can ever have. The fourth one is complimenting. It can add to your verbal message or complement this. It can improve the impact of the message, such as using your hand gesture and facial expressions and even touch. Like, for example, you are giving praise to someone through clapping your hands that tells about the words like congratulations, you are saying well done, good job, and many more. Another example is that giving a thumbs up sign to someone that you like his or her work, and also you can tap their shoulders that shows they are promoted and succeed. So there is a compliment to them. Last role is accenting. From the term accenting means it is highlighting or simplifying a verbal message. Just for instance, you are pounding the table. Through this sign, it means you are upset because they didn't pay attention to you while you are talking. But when you do this, people around you will quickly pay attention and their focus is only you, especially for the important matters. This will also happen to the boss. Therefore, it represents what it means. So those are the hidden languages and the roles of nonverbal communication. And this time, you can check your answers of the motivational test. I am hoping that you have learned my discussion in this video and you can apply this in our communication in an effective manner. Thank you so much for listening and God bless to all. Okay. Bye-bye.